Hey, Chris Grove here. Today I want to talk about reconciling with people you've fallen out of favor with, or exes. It could be friends. It could be that you've had a falling out with. It could be an ex. Could be that kind of thing. Um, in my case, I just reached out to my ex. I made a video just for her. It is not, I know it sounds insane. It totally could be, but it felt really comfortable. And I just thought about what I wanted to say. I wrote some things down and just said them. And I was relaxed and calm and collected. And I had my thoughts going. And I was like, hey, this is really good. This is pretty easy, especially when we start getting honest with people. It's amazing how easy that can become. So, I want to just reinforce that with people. If you ever find yourself in a position where you kind of like, I don't know, you have a falling out with someone and you want to get back together with that person. And by the way, she has not replied. Okay. And that's okay. That's okay. I mean, I said the things I need to say. And even in the video, I said that, I mean, it would be great to hear from you. But also, this just needed to be said. And I hope you can appreciate that. And that was that. So I think it's a win-win, it really is. I mean, I don't have any expectations. And that's another good thing, not having expectations. Now, of course, we all have hopes, and hopes are fine. We hope that someone might reach out to us or, uh, reach out back to us, once we reached out to them. But it doesn't have to be. It's not something that is going to make or break us. And I just felt really super good about doing this. I felt really just comfortable with it. And I just needed to do it, so I did it. And I said, hey, here's my video for you. And I hope you can appreciate why I'm doing this. And that was that. I'm not going to go into details because obviously it's a relationship and there's personal stuff there, and but it was very healthy and I was very honest. So if you're ever having any type of falling out with people, with loved ones, with family members, again with exes, be honest. Write things down. Say what you want to say, and do a video, perhaps. I mean, the worst thing that will happen is they'll slap you with a restraining order. Hopefully that isn't the case. And I think if you're genuine and you're really apologizing for things that you did, that's not going to happen. And even if they're still not wanting to talk to you, I think they'll still be like, you know what? Okay, all right, they're trying. Good for them, And don't always, it's okay to take responsibility for the good things too that you did. When we say we got to be accountable for our actions, we think of like the negative actions, but it's also okay to be accountable for the positive actions. So take accountability for both. Realize what you did wrong and own up to that, and realize that what you did right, and take accountability for that as well. And take credit for that. That's fine. That's great. Because in relationships, it rarely is, I'm all bad and they're awesome, I mean, no one's a saint, right? So, but that doesn't mean that, we sweep things under the rug as well. And so that's what I did this afternoon. And I thought, well, I'm going to go ahead and do a video for YouTube too. Obviously, I'm not posting that one on YouTube, the one I sent to her. But I wanted to talk about it here and say, and just promote the idea of bringing people together, because we live in a very divisive climate right now, politically and institutionally, and it's just a very strange time. There's even people in a certain party or both parties that don't always agree on everything, and that's fine. But as long as you can fundamentally agree on certain things, that's where things need to be again, I think. Or at least talk about the vast differences that divide us. And by talking about them, you're bringing people together. And I'm all about bringing people together. I'm all about having that kumbaya moment. And people make fun of me for it, but I don't care. They don't make fun of me. They just kind of laugh, like, whatever, yeah, idealistic weirdo. And I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm an idealistic weirdo. Yay. What's the alternative? Permanent indifference? So I'd rather bring people together than live in permanent indifference, and that's just me. So I'm promoting the idea of reaching out in a genuine way. If you say, well, they won't talk to me, fine. Talk to them in an appropriate way. And let them know this is awkward as hell. I'm making a video for you. And by doing that, by acknowledging the elephant in the room, it makes it less awkward. It's amazing how that works. So give that a shot. You have nothing to lose. I do movie reviews, but I also like to talk about real life stuff. And this is me talking about real life stuff. And I think it's important. Not that we all get along and we all agree on every little thing, but that we can really understand each other. And in the words of Bill and Ted, be excellent to each other. I think that's very, very important. And I'm promoting that idea. And, it's not about, I don't know, it's not about like forgetting reality. Reality is reality. But, people might not talk to you, so why bother? Well, because it's the right thing to do sometimes, even if they don't want to get back to you. And my ex, she may or may not reply, And right now, I'm okay with that. Will I be bummed if it's like a week later and I don't hear anything? I don't know. I'm going to take it day by day and week by week. I told her there's some good and bad things in my life I'd like to share with you, and funny things in my life, and I miss being able to share those things. And I think it's important to talk about those things as well. Talk about what you miss about that person. Because maybe underneath all the indifference and the anger, they miss that too. But some people can be stubborn as well. And we're all a little stubborn too. So give the other person a break, give yourself a break, and take a chance. Don't be a pest about it. Don't call them every 5 minutes. Don't stalk them. Just say, hey, I miss you. And I'd really like to work things out. And this is why. And it really does help if you've given it some time. You can't do this in the first 5 minutes of a falling out. Or sometimes the first month or two. You got to give it a little breathing room. And think about what you want to say. And then do it. But all I can tell you right now is I feel this tremendous weight lifted off my shoulders. I feel a tremendous just release. And it's great. It just feels amazing. And I just, this is spring. And one of my themes in my message to my ex is, hey, it's spring. It's time for new beginnings. And again, not saying, hey, we should get back together because it's spring and new beginnings, but planting that seed. It's new beginnings. Time to get over the old and start on with the new. And you can even, a lot of people think, well, if we're getting back together or we're friends again, then I'm going back. I'm going back to you. I'm going back to this person that I'm pissed at, or, and well, obviously going back didn't work. And that's why I say, don't go back, move forward. Obviously, there are some things that did work, especially if you're together for 9 years. So it's okay to say, hey, obviously some things did work, but you're right. Let's move forward, not backward. Together. See if we can give that a shot. And don't put a lot of pressure. Just say how you feel. You know? Recognize the reality of the situation. Again, recognize that they might not be ready to talk. And they might never or ever be ready to talk. But there is that chance and there is that hope. And I think that's important. So, yeah, it's been a lesson for me. And I just think I think it's a good lesson. And I hope that other people can take that lesson and run with it as well. There's so much division in this world. And I think it starts with people within interpersonal relationships healing the hurt that they cause someone else and vice versa. And when you can start doing that, it can go from a micro level to a macro level, but it grows over time. And if you want to heal bigger wounds or bigger causes, start small. Start with your interpersonal relationships. Your friend that you dissed out on the other day or whatever, you know, I mean, make up with that person. Reach out, say, I'm sorry. And be specific for what you're sorry for and what you're not sorry for. You know? Because it is a relationship again, and it does take two to tango. So that's perfectly okay. So just thought I'd do this little video, just inspiring people to keep that kumbaya spirit going and to reach out to people they've had fallings out with. And to really love and to try to understand one another. And to be there for one another. And I think that that's very important. And I think it's something we could really use during this time. So happy spring, happy Earth Day weekend, and Earth Day coming up for real. Celebrated yesterday with 420. It was 420 and Earth Day, the celebration, which that's always awesome, right? And tomorrow's actual Earth Day. So, and a shout out to my mom who's turning 80 today. So it's quite the weekend. Anyway, till next time, this is Chris Grove wishing you happiness, love, and remember, life is not a problem to be solved. It's a mystery to be lived, so live it. Catch you next time.